It's Monday. You guys know what that is. It is a dry van analysis today. This Week in Freight, powered by my friends over at DAT. You guys, we just break down freight lanes because like rates are going to change, capacity is going to tighten up, things are going to happen. But like ultimately, what are we going to do about it? And I think a lot of us, again, we overlook what we're actually trying to accomplish with pricing out freight. And I'm here to talk about how I personally assess lanes as I'm going out there and bidding on freight in the open market, because, your boy actually moves freight. So that's why you guys should probably tune in. But today's lane, it's back in my old stomping grounds, Crosse, Wisconsin to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This is for a dry van. Again, I always look at the miles right away, you guys. We are looking at 820 miles. So again, if we are looking at what day of the week this is shipping on, Thursday or Friday to Monday, exponentially more expensive out there than if it ships Monday through Wednesday. Again, that's right at that 2-day transit. I'm not going to go in and talk about how some people can do it overnight, but we're here to a general rule of thumb, 500 miles a day. This lane, although you look at the 1 year mark here, right? It's about $2,400, and in today's rate is about looking like it's going for about $2,600 on this. So you might be like, how big of a difference is that really? That's $200 on the 1 year average. But if you look at this here, look at last March and April, $1,800 to $1,900 and $1,800 respectively is when this lane was moving for. And this looked like it was down in the slow season there, because if you peel over to May, it's about $1,800, June at about $1,900. So that 120-day period there, it's going between $1,800 and $1,900. Well, look at where it's at right now, you guys. 25, 25, 26. Again, I went to public school, so my math is a little off, but that's like $700 to $800 more dollars a load is what this is going for right now. And if you pay attention to this show and you watch it, which, I mean, who watches a freight show unless you're in freight? This has I personally think, like, yes, fuel prices are a big deal here, but this was going up in February. And if you paid attention to the non-domiciled CDL stuff that is going on out there, Oklahoma is one of those states that is like legitimately putting people off the road right away if you fail ELP. Okay. So that is my assumption on why freight is exponentially more expensive going into that market, and why you saw that happen back in February there. And you could kind of see it go right lockstep and key with how this lane has been performing here and the direct correlation into that. So like if you've been moving this lane for a while, you're probably very aware that this market has completely flipped on its head. If you haven't for some reason moved this lane and you're going into this, and you might hear from your prospects, hey, we were paying $1,800 to $1,900 on this lane this exact time last year. What happened? We know about fuel. Everybody who watches the news knows about fuel. So what's driving this price increase? I mean, provide them with some of these articles, you guys. I put the links to every article I break down on this show, provided to them, show them like, hey, this geographic region is being it's being affected at a higher rate because the state of Oklahoma is enforcing this. It's a law, so, law should be enforced, but they're enforcing this law. That's going to naturally drive capacity away from some of these markets out there. So if you're moving this lane right now, it looks like this lane has essentially stabilized since about December, because it was at 2,400. It's at 2,600, and it looks like it's kind of stabilized over that about 5-month time frame here that we're looking at. So to me, outside of a peak summer rush that comes in here, this lane is probably going to flatten off here for the foreseeable future. I would be talking to your customers about this, though. This is probably going to continuously be the new normal out here on this lane. If you're in a spot market situation, truck in hand, you're in a really good spot from a pricing perspective. But if you have that contracted rate, and, again, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, if you're contract plus fuel, you're in a really good spot. That lasted all of like 48 hours. Rates are going to continue to rise as fuel rises out there, you guys. So if you're in a contract plus fuel perspective, you're in a broker, some lanes, you're probably going to be in a really tough spot here coming up. Again, I think that this lane looks about as stabilized as I've seen from some of the lanes we've broken down here lately. So if you're pricing this out with your customer, if this is a new lane, new region for you, I would talk to them specifically about ELP. and why that is driving rates up going into specific regions coming out of the Wisconsin market here. But that's going to be it for the dry van lane analysis here, you guys. If you want your lane broken down, like I always say, I just need you to email my team, podcast@thefreightcoach.com. Shipping city, delivery city, trailer type. That's all I need, you guys. I don't have the time to like research what this could possibly be from a prospect in there. And then frankly, you guys, we're all going after the same shippers at the end of the day. But I promise you, I'm not doing that. I just want to help you guys assess lanes for what they actually are, as opposed to the headlines that you read out there by people who are like trying to sell you a service. But I'm not. I just want to help you guys win freight at a high level out there.